Hello and welcome to today's episode of Magnet Madness. Today we are going to be discussing a really cool piece of tech called the Hyperloop. So, the Hyperloop is the brainchild of billionaire SpaceX designer Elon Musk. It's a really cool piece of tech, a little bit complicated and probably a while off being commercially available, but still great to discuss. So, Hyperloop, it is basically like a super fast maglev train that you see in Japan. I expect a lot of you have heard of them but don't quite understand how they work. So a maglev train uses electromagnets like this to basically levitate and propel a train. So the way an electromagnet works is you've got a piece of iron that's got huge numbers of copper wires wrapped around it and then attached to an electricity source. That electricity source allows you to turn the magnet on and off, increase its strength, and even change the polarities. So the important part of magnets in the maglev train is the fact that you can have north and north or south and south pointing towards each other. So to levitate it, we've got the magnets, the electromagnets at the bottom, which are turned on and off rapidly to levitate the train, which has an iron base at the bottom. So they have the north on the bottom of the train and the north on the top of the magnet. That means that the train levitates. At the back we have another set of magnets that also point north forwards. This is what propels them forwards. The reason that it's interesting is that they're able to go so much faster because of the huge reduction in friction. However, with the maglev trains, the wind resistance is still pretty significant. So they're going at 500 k's an hour. The amount of air and wind that's going to be coming at you at that speed is huge. So Elon Musk, genius that he is, was like, well, what if we can create a train or a transportation device that doesn't have friction and doesn't have wind resistance, which is where the Hyperloop comes in. So the Hyperloop functions inside of a vacuum. So it requires a huge amount of big metal tubing that has been sealed tightly and had all of the air removed. Another thing that's really interesting about this is that this is actually open to anyone to develop. So Elon Musk was like, well, I'm a bit busy, I've got SpaceX, I've got Tesla, got a lot going on, have a go at it, guys. So the main Hyperloop tech at the moment currently under development is being developed by Virgin, so Richard Branson, and it is currently underway. It's got testing in the desert in America. So currently the cost is about $6 billion US to 400 kilometers. So not great, but we're working on that. So there are a couple of big issues with it though. So the first one, the amount of pressure per cubic meter of infrastructure on the vacuum is approximately the same as a freight truck. So smallest crack and the whole thing will implode. Then there's the general expenses and the issues with speeding up and slowing down rapidly. So on an aeroplane, you'll find you take off, you speed off quickly. It's a bit uncomfortable. On the the Hyperloop, it's going to take 54 kilometers to get it up to full speed. This means you're accelerating for about 5 minutes, which not much fun. Then there's also the issue of slowing it down rapidly if there's any sort of issue. So it's a while off being generally and commercially available and may never be. There are definitely those who believe that it's completely unreasonable to expect us to use it, considering it's completely inflexible in where it goes, unlike aeroplanes and cars. But the general technological advances have a lot that they're going to contribute to just general transportation in life and possibly space travel. So there's a lot to come out of it, so watch that space.